Today we are on the long arm from the rear side because I still don't have front handles. So I am going to quilt my ultimate strings quilt. If you guys remember, I did this in a video. I'm taking advantage of the fact that I don't have front handles, so if I mess anything up, they're all my personal quilts. So technically, if something happens, it's whatever, because you know it's not a client's quilt. I wouldn't dare take the chance of loading a client's quilt with no front handlebars to do everything legitly perfect. So on things that are just things that I've made, I don't mind doing it from the rear side because it's no big deal. But I am not using a pantograph. I'm just going to quilt from the rear, and I'm not going to dare try to quilt from the front because that hurt my hand the last time, so I'm just going to work with what I have from the back side. As you can see, I haven't even basted this quilt. It's just loose, so I'm going to baste it while I'm here on the video. I also want to let you know that you can see that the quilt top is actually rolled on the quilt top bar. That's something I never do. I usually float the top, but because I'm on the rear and I have no control over the front of the quilt from back here, and it takes too much walking back and forth, I decided on this one, because this quilt is 94 by 108, or 96 by 108, I decided to roll it up on the front bar, which is a rare occasion thing that I do, but sometimes I do use my front roller. So it's rolled up on that, so you can see this is the quilt top. It's in, you can see the seams this way. And my backing's loaded facing down like always. It's a really, really pretty teal color. I would show you, but unfortunately we can't show you because it doesn't work that way when it's loaded already. But it's really pretty. And I'm going to use my glide thread. I'm using mint, color mint. It's really pretty. It blends with the back better than it does with the top. So let's see who's here before I start. We got Kim here, hello. Marilita, hello. Dawn, hello. Emily, hello. Laura, hello. Jim, hello. Lynette, hello. DJ, hello. Shelly, hello. Vivian, hello. Let's see, where are we at? And I said Jim.
See, there's the backing.
That's the backing, the dull side, though.
Yes, I know. Well, that's all I can show.
Hard to see. There's this, Mr. Scotty.
Well, hold on. I had to. Just trying to show him.
All right, so I haven't basted it yet, and this is a little more complicated to do from the back side, as long as everything stays nice.
Did you say hi to Patricia? Is that where you ended?
I think so, Patricia. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and drop my needle right here. I still have my spoon foot on here, and I'm gonna go ahead and just continue working with this foot because there's no anything that says I don't have to quilt with or without it. There's nothing that says that I shouldn't be using it on everything. I mean, for $50, I might as well keep on using it. All right, so I'm just gonna tack it down from back here. I'm also gonna change my stitch length to a 4 because I don't have a basting stitch from my rear screen. I actually have to change my stitch length. And then I'm going to go ahead and just do a nice straight line from back here, if I can. And I'm using a polyester batting, and it's 6-ounce loft. And actually, I think I have to baste from the front.
Do you want me to try and hold them?
No, it's fine. I just can't, from back there, I can't do it without feeling like it's going to go crooked. So I'm just going to baste it real quick and then we'll get started. Because I saved everything for the video, besides the loading. And I'm pretty sure this mint thread is going to look beautiful on here.
This is the one with your T blocks, right?
No. This is my ultimate strings quilt that I did paper, foundation paper piece this with phone book paper.
Oh. Is this the one for sale then?
Yes, probably.
Oh, okay. I thought this was the one with your blocks on that was for our day.
No.
Okay.
So I just
I
gotta
don't even know
straighten
what
up.
quilts are here, and I helped you load it.
Just straightening it up as I go. Being very cautious of the fact that my batting is kind of thick, but I do that because that's what I like, is the puffy look. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to at least.
Shelly wants to know when you're gonna get your arms back for your long arm.
I have no idea. Unfortunately, I have no idea.
We're still waiting for them to even look at them, Shelly. We're in the queue, is what they told us. Haven't even got to us yet.
All right, hold on. Gotta stop. There's stuff in the way right here. Cannot go all the way if you have stuff in the way.
I'm sorry, I could move that.
Now that I have done across the top, I'm going to carefully do down the sides, and it looks like, unfortunately, it shifted a little bit.
Hello everyone, I'm Marilita with Trisha. Hi everybody.
So I'm just going to have to like bear with things.
Hi Shirley. Dawn says wow.
Okay, so I'm going to run this back to the other side real quick. I try not to go too fast because from left or from right to left, it tends to break thread easier than from left to right. I'm gonna come down this side. Making
Shelley
sure-
says that's a bummer, but you know you're talented when you can quilt with no arm.
Well, I'm not gonna quilt from the front at all, so I'm just gonna baste first. And I'm gonna go around to the back and start quilting. I'm only gonna do an all over meander because I don't wanna do anything fancy and mess anything up. So I'm just gonna go all over the whole thing from one side to the other, from the back. And I just have to kind of like stand, like what I'm doing is I'm gonna hold the handle and just stand and watch myself so that I don't go over all my own previous quilting lines and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna stop this, change my stitch length back to 10.
Dawn says it makes me happy that I can only do a queen on my table.
Yeah, this is a queen king.
A queen king.
A queen king. Like I said, 96 by 108. So, all right, so here we go. I'm just gonna stitch from back here, and I'm totally not used to working from this backside because I never have to unless this happens, which I did not last year, but the year before. So here we go.
Hi Vicky. That's awesome how you do that.
So real quickly, I'm gonna stop and check my tension because I kind of, oh, I can do it from this side.
Dawn says that's a beautiful thread color.
Just to make sure, yes, it's called mint, and it really, really looks great on the backside. And the tension looks absolutely amazing. Look at that. Just want to check before I get too far and then regret myself and have to pick a ton of stuff out because I don't want to do that.
Yes, we were tired of picking.
So this is about the easiest thing I can do from the backside and actually see what I'm doing.
that 8-ounce batting?
Huh?
Dawn asked, what kind of batting? Is it 8 ounce?
It's 6-ounce polyester.
Oh, I thought it was 8.
No, this is the 122.
Okay. I believe you.
Can you not keep going and bring that, please?
Alright.
It's pulling it down and it's making it hard for my eyes to see.
Sorry. So this is the 6 ounce. Did you get that, Dawn? And that says wow.
So it's going to create a really nice pillowy loft.
It looks so
Creating what I
fluffy.
call a quilumpeter.
It looks so fluffy. I like it when she uses that thick batting. A lot of people don't like that polyester batting, but it looks so fluffy. Maralika says, looks amazing.
So from the back side, the only thing that I can say is it's kind of hurting my hip to lean on my leg like this, but I'm not going to be quilting this whole quilt in one day because it is large.
Hi Podone. Podone says, I love poly batting. I use it 100% of the time. And then she asks, have you tried other weights of it?
Yes. I tried the thinner ones, the thicker ones. I like these thicker loft ones because especially when custom quilting, the thicker the polyester weight, the better, especially for like show quilting, because you really get that texture that helps that quilting stand out and it makes it look magnificent like that. The look that it creates is like, there's no words for it. And a lot of big time quilters, they will use a layer of cotton and a layer of poly for, but why not just use a heavier weight poly to begin with instead of 2 layers of batting? So I use the heavier weight to begin with. And I also, like I said, that word quilumpeter that I created, this creates that look of like a comforter, because a comforter has like almost, I think it's 10-ounce loft or more in most comforters of the batting. This is almost that. So it creates not only the look of a quilt, but some people don't even know what a quilt is, you know that, right? So it also creates that comforter look, which is what most people's bedrooms have on their beds. So instead they get the look now this way of a quilt and a comforter all in one, because it's puffy, except it's a little bit more quilted than an actual comforter, which only has like a circle, 3 circles in the middle to hold it down, and then it bunches up. This will never bunch up. You know what I mean?
Hi Kay.
So the look that you get from this is outstanding. I love it.
Dawn says, I've been constantly using 80/20.
And I use that when I can.
And Podunk asks, what is your favorite?
My favorite would be my favorite batting period.
I don't know if she means your favorite of the polyester or your favorite period, but why don't you say both?
I like this stuff from Marshall Dry Goods. I don't know if they can hear me all the way over here.
Yeah, but which, this 6 ounce that you're using now, is that your favorite?
No, I like the 8.
Like the 8 the best?
Yeah, especially for the custom jobs.
She says she's been getting hers at Walmart, but she
But
would
don't
like
get
to
me
buy a
wrong.
roll.
Don't get me wrong. I do love cotton batting, especially where we live, because cotton batting is cooler for where we live. But I'm going to tell you right now, 90% of the quilts that I quilt and people purchase from me don't even live in Arizona. They live in cold states. So it's okay to put polyester in them and keep them nice and warm. But I do actually like using cotton. I just don't get the loft I'm looking for custom quilting, which is what I mainly do on cotton batting. You get that look from polyester, so I prefer polyester over cotton. And my favorite so far is from Marshall Dry Goods. This brand
That's the 8-ounce,
is
right?
the 8-ounce. It's not this one. This one's the 126, but it's the same brand. But amazing. The loft that's created and the feel of it and the texture of it is not thin. It doesn't, like when you start pulling it apart, it doesn't pull apart as easily as the thinner stuff does. It's very nice. Very, very nice.
She says she's been getting hers at Walmart, but she would like to buy a roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually cheaper to buy a roll.
The roll's the way to go. If
Yeah.
you make a lot of them,
Yeah.
Tiff uses it up, and the roll is cheaper. She agrees with you on the cotton. She doesn't care for it. She does custom work and loves the puffy trapunto look.
Yeah. That's what I like. The technique, oop, I had a thread break. Very rare.
Oh, I
It
thought you
broke
were at
here at the
bobbin.
top.
I thought you were at a bobbin
Nope,
with that
I
metal
tangled.
clanking noise.
I have a tangle right here. Oh, pop the bobbin out because that could be what happened is it ran out of thread. No, it's tangled. A tangle on the last of the bobbin. Here, some string for you.
Oh, now I can pick and that you're not going?
All right, so I'm just
There's
gonna
lots
put
of
a
little
fresh
threads.
bobbin in here. Check my tension before I stick it in the machine. I have to re-thread the front because it came out.
Well, hey, they're learning.
I do need my little red snip so I can hook it to my shirt. Where are they?
No, I'm in front of the camera
Oh,
when I
it's
do
right
that.
here.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to be caught in front of the camera.
Now I'm like all the rest of the quilters. It's hooked to my shirt instead. Usually I have it hooked to my front handlebars. Now I'm going to come to the front so that I can re-thread it because that's kind of hard to do from the rear.
Photo says, I'm full of questions tonight. How large is your throat space?
18 inches. This is a King Quilter 2 Elite Special Edition. Right now it's just the King Quilter 2 Elite.
Well, she's looking to purchase a new one, and she's been looking at the King Quilter since finding you on
This is
YouTube.
amazing. This is an amazing machine.
We have a link to
In the description below to the website. I am
Sewing
an
Machines
affiliate,
Plus.
whether I make money or not, you guys can use my link for anything on their website, honestly.
Yes, you don't have to buy just a sewing machine. You can buy
It doesn't
anything
take
on
you
their
directly
site.
to the King Quilter, but that's pretty much what shows up when you go on there.
It doesn't cost you any more to click on it through our link.
I'm attempting to, where was it say?
Dawn says, I'll have to try strictly poly when I do my doodle quilt. I have 2 rolls sitting here of my 80/20. You never know, Dawn. When you try it, you might be surprised. You might like it.
Okay. So I'm just gonna get back to it.
Dawn says, I probably will.
And just know that the only videos on YouTube about the King Quilter are mine. There's like 3 on the Sewing Machines Plus thing on how to use the bobbin winder and I think how to thread the machine. I'm not sure. Just know that anything, if you search King Quilter, you're going to come right back to my channel.
Well, Podunk Pretty says, poly is easier on my allergies. Cotton stinks and makes my nose itch and run.
Yeah. Wool is the same too. Wool is,
She says, snot on quilts is not a good thing.
wool is definitely not good for people with allergies.
Dawn says, I live in Minnesota and it's cold here. Look at that, she's almost at the end of one row, guys. Podunk says wool burns, but it does make beautiful quilts.
Yes, it does. And when I'm done, you won't know if I quilted it from the front or the back.
Hi, Stephanie. Stephanie says hello.
Huh?
Stephanie says hello.
Hello. So I'm gonna tie it off from way over here. Snip it. And then I let Scotty run the camera along this so that they can see. You would never know if I was quilting it from the front or the rear.
I did that for that section while you were going
Uh-oh.
earlier. It's kind of been done.
Okay.
Unless you want me to I didn't really want to unplug it.
Alright, so now to advance the quilt just a little bit. And you can see that the top unrolls with it. Hold on, let me push the bed in.
Okay, you want to do that?
Okay, go.
Hold on. You got more right here. You gotta push under.
I want it to take all that batting equally instead of holding it. I usually trim it off, but I didn't this time.
Sorry, I should have dropped it.
Stop.
Back a little? No.
Yeah, that's right there. We have to be perfect because I'm hooked with the top this time.
That's
So you can
good.
see my quilt top is going to stay nice because it's connected to the bar, which I never, like I said, I never do. That's rare.
The little threadies are everywhere.
So I'm in the front of the camera. Sorry about that. Momentarily.
You got the little snips, right? You got some snips there.
Yeah, I'll take care of it when the quilt is completely done.
Oh, okay.
I'm not in the mood to take well on the back side.
Okay. I didn't know.
Alright. Now I'm just going to base down the
Hi,
sides.
Heather, you made it. Awesome.
Just going to base down the sides real quick. But
Laura says, great job.
that I have to do kind of from the front because That's really hard to do from the rear.
Yeah, Heather, I figured you missed the first one. Tiff did another live earlier, which was the second part of the little mini Dresdens. But I figured it was too early for you then. But that's okay, you can always watch the replays.
So weird because I'm working pretty much backwards from my normal everything that I do. So we're going to push it to that side. Put this thread in the trash, and I'm going to block the camera for just a second.
It's okay, you're not bad.
Because I got to come right back around to the front again. So I gotta drop my needle. Again, I could do this from the back. Let's see. If I sit up here maybe.
Well, Heather, we're probably going to do another early one on Thursday. Tomorrow Tiff has a doctor's appointment, so it won't be tomorrow, but Thursday. So I'm sorry, you're just going to have to watch the replay, I guess.
So I'm gonna sit up here and do it. This works.
Getting the basting done.
So I guess I can base from the back as long as I sit up on my frame. Just know that it's kind of awkward. Here's some thread for you. Oh. Alright, so I'm going to change back to 10 stitches per inch. And I'm going to start quilting. And then I'm just going to do my best to butt up this next row with the previous row, which is kind of hard because I have to kind of lean a little bit more than normal. But I'm going to make it work. The reach is a little bit different. Just know the bigger machine, if you have like a gamble and you're working from the back and you need to reach and you have a 32-inch machine, that's going to be a little difficult. Because this is already kind of a lot of pressure weight on just one of my legs leaning like this.
And like I said, Tiff, you just go as long as you can, then we can take a break. You don't have to rush it. She's moving right along. Look at her go. That's okay, Dawn. You have a good night.
Sorry, I have an itch. Oh.
It's okay. I'm just showing them this section. cord's not very long, so I only show them the side. You guys were talking about the backing fabric. Now you can see the color of it when it's rolled. Beautiful.
Yes, on screen when we were choosing this backing fabric, it looked amazing, and it was just as amazing in person when it came in the mail.
It's hard to, when you buy them online, to know if it's going to be the exact color. The backing fabric for the big Dresden quilt, which you didn't show Longarm, was a little bit different color than we thought it was going to be, but it still matches. Luckily, it still looks very good. This one came exactly what we thought it was going to be. We ordered them together at the same time.
Gotta stop and stretch every now and then.
You gotta start doing your squats back there and everything, honey?
Yeah, I don't think squats are possible while I'm doing what I'm doing here.
I was joking. I was trying to get you to laugh. I was trying to coax a smile out of you, my love.
I am smiling because I'm quilting.
Yeah.
But I am a short quilter, so it kind of makes this a little bit more, I gotta put more effort into it.
Yes, Tiff is only 5'2". She's a little shorty. As always, we'll take a break and show the monster hiding over there with his string. Oh, look. That's his shoelace. He's allowed to play with that.
Oh, I made my first beat.
When it beeps, that means she's going too fast for it. It's yelling at her to slow down. Turn. Stephanie says you're doing an amazing job working from the back of your machine. Hi Heather, hi Linda.
Oh, I got a beat.
Linda asked, why do long arms have handlebars in the front and in the back?
Okay, so the rear handlebars are there so that you can do pantographs, which is the piece of paper, a long piece of paper that you put on a table. Most people don't even get these when they order. I wanted all of everything because I said to myself, in the future, what if I want to try this? What if I want to try that? I said that a zillion times. So I made sure to get rear handlebars. And you know what? It's actually a good thing that I did with the screen and everything back here, because situations like this where my front went out. But you technically do not have to get the whole rear set up, and you can set your long arm up closest to the wall and never have to go back here. But I personally wanted all those extras all the way up to where I can't, no computer. It was as close as I can get to not having a computer, where I can do all the things that a long arm is capable of doing, front, back, side, whatever. I wanted the rear handlebars. You don't have to get rear handlebars, and there are also smaller machines that don't even come with them, like the Moxie. I'm pretty sure you can get them, but I don't think they advertise it with rear handlebars. They only do it for the front. So, but I made sure I got what I could, as close as I can get to where I can do everything other than a computerized. So that's why I have rear handlebars, but you don't have to have them.
And then Podunk asked how hard was it to assemble the King Quilter frame. That was not easy.
Not easy, but it's not that hard either. It's not like the most complicated thing in the world. So
it took us a couple hours. There's 3 of us working on it, but the problem was the instruction book was wrong, which they fixed now because of us. We called them 3 times on it. They had a couple pages in their book backwards.
Yep.
So they changed their instruction manual because of us. We pointed out some of their mistakes.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that terrible, but it was an event. It wasn't fun.
And unfortunately, I did not record it, or else if I would have when we first got this, you guys would already know how to put it together. But I didn't record it. But a lot of people that buy this machine and they buy it from my recommendation, they usually contact me, and I can help with whatever I can help with as best as I can over video chat. So just so you know that.
You have to make sure everything is level.
Yes.
So every part of it you have to level. That's what kind of takes a while. Every time you're putting another bolt or screw in, you check it to make sure it's level again. And then when it's all said and done, it was in the garage, and of course the garage concrete floor is not level. So that
I had ghosting, where
the
my
whole
machine
thing was
would
just kind of a moot
just
point.
take itself whatever direction it wanted to go.
And then Marilita asks, which way do you roll it to quilt another part? So you'll see when we get to the end, Marilita.
Yeah, I'm almost to the end.
We're gonna
Everything
roll
rolls
it this
way. Counterclockwise if you're standing at the roller side and looking at it. It's all counterclockwise rolling. So the actual snaps on the ends where you would unsnap it, everything is set up to go counterclockwise. Even if if the end thing is the teeth on it, on the little ratchet, are opposite, it's still, when you're loaded on it, it's loaded to go counterclockwise. Oops, wrong button.
Linda says, gotcha. Auntie Ann, hi. She says, wow, 2 lives in one day.
Yeah, I just wanted to work on this a little bit.
Hi, Donna.
I'm not quilting this whole quilt in one video. My hip is already killing me from leaning on it too much.
Heather says she's 5'2" also. And she says there in Queensland they don't let the cats play with strings because it's too dangerous with snakes about. Interesting. Our cat never goes outside. I don't know, do you guys get snakes in the house too? We get snakes in Arizona, but we've never had one in the house.
Or the garage.
Hi, Judy. Now, before she gets to the end there and I have to roll it, I'll show you guys some more. I'll take you as long as the cord will let me. You can see some more of her beautiful quilting. See if we can come down here. You can see some of the puff, maybe. Some of that fluffy puffness. What's the matter?
Oh, I was kind of like veering because I was trying to adjust my position.
Hi, Darlene. Darlene says I didn't expect to see you until Thursday. But that's for the Dresden. We're not going to do until Thursday.
Oh, I'm out of bobbin.
Oh, right at the end, we don't get to roll it yet?
Nope.
Oh, man, I never get the other section. I rehooked it.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't get ahead of me, please.
Well, I thought we were ready to.
Nope.
That's why I did it.
And I would never unhook it actually while quilting still.
Well, I thought you were done. That's why I did it. I didn't unhook it while quilting. I didn't.
Check my tension. Pop it back in. And I actually kind of want you to unplug it so you can show them how my body is actually standing while I'm doing this.
Oh, okay.
So that they can see what I'm really going through as a short person to quilt this quilt.
Okay, well, hold on.
Give me a second to start this.
Okay. Stephanie, we already had a big conversation about batting. Did you miss that? Stephanie wants to know what batting we're using.
You come right here, so
Okay.
they can see. So like I'm literally quilting like this.
You want me to show your whole body leaning over? Is that what you want?
So you can see I'm leaning quite a bit, and when I was behind the table completely, I'm literally leaning like this. So you can see I put a lot of effort into quilting when I don't have my front handlebars.
Hey,
Hmm?
you never answered the question, did you?
What's the question?
What batting are you using?
Oh, the Marshall Dry Goods 122-inch 6-ounce block.
Stephanie missed that earlier because she asked again.
Oh.
No worries, we are here to help.
So here is how this works. So
Yes, now watch, Marilita.
I'm unhooking the side clamps first. That's the first thing I want to do. The second thing that we want to do is unsnap the end snaps. Hold on, I'm going to come over here and show Scotty. That way they can see. So
Snap in.
these have to be popped out because I don't have a roller bar on the end. Mine broke within the first week of having it. Unsnapping this one as well, and unsnapping this one as well.
This one is unsnapped.
Okay. And then all 3 layers, can you see? Rolling to the top.
You gotta put a little bit of oomph into it, especially with these thick ones.
It's rolling to the top, it's unrolling that, as well as underneath here, it is unrolling the backing, all at the same exact time. So you can see, and then I want him to stop right there.
Right there?
Yep. So he has to snap that one back in place, so that's where I want it.
And then tighten it and snap the bottom.
Retighten this back towards me.
This one?
This one.
I am.
Okay.
They win.
That's good. And then this one, I'm just going to tighten just a little bit and leave it right there. Because the quilt is on its
And then show the clip
bar. And then the clips have to go, sorry about the movement, guys. The clips go right back onto the end because it holds it taut on the frame. So you can see, watch what happens when the clip is off. Take that clip off. You see how loose that is? And when I go to base this down, but put the clip on it. See how it pulled it nice and tight? So that way when I go to stitch this down, it'll be nice and straight. Those clips are meant to hold the sides nice and straight, sorry, as you baste it. So one clip goes on this side. And I always put my clip in line with my end baste, and then my next one down where the bottom baste will end up. So that's how that works. All right, I'm gonna just baste the sides, and I think I'm gonna get off of here because my hip is killing me.
There says her cats are killing snakes and come in the house. Interesting. That's cool.
So I'm gonna go ahead and baste my sides. Since I'm using super polyester batting, I definitely have to baste this no matter what.
Auntie Ann says your Dresden on the wall looks amazing.
Thank you. That's the one I did for myself. For me, myself, and I. The other gray one
Arlene
was
says,
for
glad
my
I
friend.
caught you live.
So I'm gonna go ahead, come to the front just to baste this real quick. I'm always holding my fabric down so that everything stays straight, nothing gets shifted. And I can literally come all the way down to this bar almost. And to the top, I'm gonna tie it off. That way I keep this whole entire quilt nice and straight the whole entire time. That's very important when long arm quilting, is to keep the quilt as straight as possible. Because if it starts shifting by the time you get to the bottom of the quilt, especially if you're floating your top, you're going to have one side going to the right and the other side going to the right, and you're going to run out of backing, you're going to run out of batting, or you're going to quilt yourself off of it. So it is very, very important to always baste your sides.
Stephanie says, wow, they changed the bars. I had the Advante on a Pro frame and they didn't have the pop-outs.
Yeah. Yeah. This is just however this is. Alright, so I'm going to baste this side while sitting on the table. I don't recommend everybody sit on their tables, but if you're small like me, I guess you can. Unfortunately, they're not meant for too much weight.
When it costs as much as a car, it better be able to handle something.
This is actually, of all the frames that, like my last frame was a Grace frame, and then the ones that are the handy quilters, because I've also messed with those at the shop. This frame for this King Quilter is actually quite sturdy, surprisingly. Like, this is sturdier than my last Grace frame, definitely. There's a big pile of thread.
And luckily when we brought it in the house, we didn't have to disassemble it completely. I thought we were going to. I was freaking out about that, but we didn't have to.
Alright, I'm
It was actually easier
just
than I
gonna
ever thought it
quilt
would
a
be.
little bit more, and then that's it. I think I'm just gonna like do just a tad bit more. Just for a second. Alright, so I'm gonna change my stitch length back to a 10. And you guys can see, I have to really lean over.
Stephanie, your name sounds like a book or a movie or something. Memoirs of a Long Run Quilter.
This machine is moving with ease. That's what I love about it.
Plus you clean the wheels and the tray and stuff too. Make sure it stays.
I would say it glides effortlessly, honestly. I've always wanted to load a quilt and quilt it with a push around. And what I mean by that, and I'm not going to show you, but let me stop for 2 seconds. What I mean by a push around, what I've always wanted to do is load a quilt and just turn it on, and don't use the handlebars or anything, just press power, push it to one side, push it to another, push it, just quilt it by letting it do wherever the machine lands, that's where you push it again. I always wanted to just do a push it quilt where I just push the machine from one spot to another just with a finger. Where it lands, move it to a different way, you know?
I don't
Just
think
for
that
fun.
would come out very good.
I think it would come out looking crazy psycho.
Yeah,
I think it would look
I
awesome.
don't think that would look good.
I think it will look good. And I definitely want to do one. A push it quilt. Alright, 1 more minute. Tell me when 1 minute is up, Scotty.
Okay. It would be a, what do they call it in painting? You just throw the stuff however or wherever. There's a term for it.
I have no idea. It would be like thread painting, pushing it.
No, there's a term with painters when they just splash the paint on.
I don't
Oh,
know.
Jackson Pollock is like famous for he just throws like a can of paint on a picture and it's art.
Yes, I want to do it like that.
I can't think of what the word is that I want.
Flat.
Yes. That would be nice, but no. That's not the name. There's an actual name for whatever. Okay, it's been a minute.
Has it been a minute?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright. Woo! Okay, so you come around front. Whew. That way I'm only on for like an hour, right? Yep. Okay, so let
We
me.
started at what, 7:20? So you have a few minutes. Say hi to everybody. Talk.
So you guys can see it's pretty good for a rear-sided all-over meander while stretching my hip because, well, it really hurts. You can see what the backing fabric looks like. Literally in person, it is a little bit more, like, I don't know, I think it's like, the screen makes it look different, but it's a little bit more teal in real life. Very strong color. I like it. So this is the Ultimate Strings Quilt. If you guys remember, I pieced these on paper, phone book paper, and I did some blocks like this on the diagonal, and then the other ones I did as string piecing, and then put them together like this. And it just repeats over and over and over. And then I did the border, which I went all the way around with black first, and then I took all of the leftover strings and just completely put them all together, and then I showed you guys how to do mitered corners, which is way up there now, and then went around it one more time with black and did that purple, which the teal looks amazing with. If you could see both of those together, looks great. And I'm also going to bind this quilt with the leftover backing fabric.
It says pretty, and darling, it's a beautiful backing fabric.
So there it is. It looks so crazy on the screen. You guys can see I love my string quilts. Definitely love my string quilts. All right, so let's.
Your string quilts are beautiful too. I like your string quilt.
I like using up my strings and getting them all used up. So
No
this
waste
is
around here.
this is a video where you guys, for the first time ever, got to see me use my actual quilt top bar, because I never use it. I always float, but I figured with it being on the back like this, I'd have no control over the front if it was floating, so I deemed it easier to load it on the bar instead, and actually it is easier, it's less bouncing, and it's doing good so far, so that's a plus, because I need it to be nice from the back side, and I can't control from the front, so.
Donna says I really like that teal backing.
Yes, it's beautiful, beautiful. I got it on Marshall Dry Goods in the 108 section, guys, for anybody that's curious. It's really pretty.
We were
Like,
quite
in
amazed that
person,
it actually came looking
Yeah.
like what we thought it
The
was.
screen on the computer, it made it look a lot darker, but in person, it is really pretty, like super pretty. I love it. And it feels amazing too. So I know I've heard some people say Marshall Dry Goods 108 is a little on the crispy side. Some of them are, but it goes away with the wash. It's like a batik that it kind of fades with washing, you know, the crispiness of it. So, yeah, I think it looks great.
Heather says you do some amazing quilts, Tiff. I love them all.
Thank you. This is definitely a
Hi,
fun one.
Jane. I'm not sure if I was trying to think of abstract expressionalism, if that's the name of it or
Yeah,
not.
I just want to, what I'm thinking is just stand right here in the front, push my machine that way. Come over here, push it that way. Push it this way until, push it back, push it forward until a whole entire quilt has just got crazy, abstract, whatever all over. I think that would be fun.
Emily says, would the red snappers do the same thing?
Do what? I have the red snappers, that's what's on here.
They're on here.
They're on here.
They're what's holding
Yeah.
that down on each end.
But not on the
pin.
top bar. The top bar is that for the quilt top. When I say top bar, it means the quilt top. This is actually pinned on. It was because it's easier when I get to the bottom finally to have it pinned on than it is when I go to baste it, than it is to have the red snappers on it. It's just going to be way easier. So at least that's what I'm used to. So because I don't really ever do the top on the bar, but since I'm used to it being on pins, I'm going to leave it on pins. That way it's not so chunky as it's unrolling as well, because with the red snappers, it does create quite the bulk. So, yeah.
Yeah, they do make it bulkier, and this is a big quilt.
Yeah, a very big quilt. This is going to take a lot of quilting.
And it will be for sale when it's done, guys. Hint, hint.
Anyway, all right. Well, I thank you guys for joining me while I work from the back side of the machine, since I have no other way to do it. I would do my clients' quilts, but again, I can't custom quilt from back there. That's just going a little too far for me. That's out of my comfort zone, and I don't want to mess anything up. So, you guys will know when I get my handles back, because I'll be back to getting my client quilts done, since I video almost every single quilt that I quilt. Other than that, I'm going to get off of here, and I'm going to have some dinner and relax for the rest of the night. And I will see you guys on Thursday. I don't think I'll be on tomorrow at all. But I will be on Thursday. Today was just to kind of just get this done, because I wanted you guys to see me quilting, and I was anxious to do some more quilting. You know how it is, right? Something's missing here, and I still want to quilt. I can care less if I have to do it from the back. So I'm just one of those kind of people. I got to keep going. Can't stop. I love it too much. I love doing this. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Yep, we'll probably be back on Thursday.
Bye. Bye.